Hello, future investors, and welcome back to another Sunday special. As always, I am here with the Stack Collector doing our weekly live YouTube streams. In these live streams, we talk about all things precious metals, investing, the S&P 500, gold and silver bullion, mental health, mindset, motivation, and just a general chit chat as well while responding to you guys with the live comments. So hopefully a lot of you appear today in a live stream. And if you're watching this after it is already been live, thank you for taking the time to tune in and watch it. So without further ado, as always, I would like to introduce my friend and the awesome content creator that is the Stack Collector. Welcome, mate. How are you doing?
Hey everybody, how's everybody? I'm doing very good, thank you very much, Future. It's been a bit of a tricky week this week, but I'm getting through it, and I'm just very glad and excited to be back here chatting with everybody.
Yeah, me too, Matt. I'm really pleased to have you here. I love filming and creating content, and and just creating the content. But there's something unique and really easy and fun about doing a live stream with you. It's just really interactive with everyone, and yeah, really nice.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, I said in my community post earlier, my absolute favourite part of these is interacting with everybody, and I can see a few people have popped up in the chat. So I just want to say a quick hello to the Silver Sacker. There we go. The Silver Sacker, Creative Precious Metals, GNS Metals. Hello, guys. How are you all doing?
Hi guys, yeah, welcome Silver Stacker, welcome GNS Metals and Creative Precious Metals. Thanks for joining the live stream. We've already got 9 people in the live stream, so pretty awesome actually. I'm loving your setup, mate, in the background, and I can see you've got a coronation piece there. That's the new King Charles 1 ounce silver bullion coin, is it?
No, this is a silver proof. I've got the bullion. They've come in 2 packages, and they're probably going to be unboxed on my next video, which I think is going to be Tuesday. But this is one of the silver proofs that came out more closer to the coronation itself. But yeah, no, definitely stay tuned for the silver bullion coming very soon.
Yeah, awesome. I've actually got my very own silver proof coin here that was gifted to me by yourself as a very generous gift, and it's very special because it's the first ever proof coin I own in my stack. And yeah, got Princess Diana and now King Charles on there. So very cool piece of my collection. It takes pride and place right here at the top of my stack. So yeah, awesome stuff. Nice to see everyone popping in. Welcome, Lee, the absolute legend that Lee is. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Hope you're doing well. He said, I can't hear you over the massive thunderstorm outside. Hey guys. So it must be a thunderstorm up in Wales because right now it's muggy where I am, warm and muggy, but no thunderstorm. I don't know about yourself, mate.
It's coming here. The skies have started to get grey, and the rain started to come. But we had quite a storm yesterday, and I was out fishing, and it just absolutely held it down. It was not the best of experiences to be out fishing. And we had lightning coming. It was about 30 foot away from us. It was quite terrifying, really.
Wow, yeah, not what you need when fishing with rods and everything. Just want to say your camera's sort of blurred out a little bit, mate. I don't know if you can read.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, perfect. It's good for close up.
It's live, isn't it? So it's for some reason it's set the focus right there, and when I take it away, the background's in blue, which looks beautiful when I've got something in it. So I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to hold something throughout the entire video.
No. It looks good actually, though. You're right. When you've got something up close, it does make the background like distinctive from what you're showing. Welcome, John. He said, "Hello, Future Investments and Stack Collector." GS and Metal said, "Not sure if it's worth it for the £100, but I've got a strong funder here too." Mary will always give thanks. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Always nice to catch you live. Thank you. It's always nice to see you pop into the live, Mary. Really appreciate your time to come here. GNS Metal said, "Hi, Johnny," and "Hi, Mary." Now, yeah, I mean, how's your stacking going, mate? Have you been investing in particularly much silver or gold bullion to increase your stack? And what are you focusing on more at the moment?
So I've got 3 bullions to come because I bought the the cipher. Oh, before I go into that, I've just got to. I should probably address the elephant in the room and let everybody know. But I think there's going to be a video coming out soon with me wearing pink nail polish. I lost a bet. I didn't think that. Yeah, I didn't think the Royal Mint were going to be releasing the crown. Well, we discussed it, didn't we? Because of that announcement they made, but they seem to double back on it, and they've released only, I think it's 150,000, isn't it, of the bullion coins? So yeah, I was wrong about that. 365 Days of Silver was right. He put it up to the community, and they chose what I've got to do a video wearing bright pink nail polish. So if you do tune into that and you're a bit confused, that'll be why. But anyway, going on. Yes. So bullion wise, I've got the new King Charles bullion with the crown, with the Standard Britannia reverse on it, and also the one with the royal cipher. And I also, while I was at it, I picked up the Royal Arms bullion as well, because I thought that was quite a nice design, and I thought that was a nice one for the stack. So that's I've got 3 ounce silver to come to unbox very shortly, and then tomorrow, if anybody didn't know, big news, because tomorrow at 9 a.m. the first of the Star Wars coins is going to be released through the Royal Mint.
No way. Have they released the design of it yet, or is it?
Yes, the first one is. It's actually the one I couldn't remember when we said about it before. It's they are doing it in pairs, and the first one's going to be C3PO and R2D2.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So the other, I do know that. I know they're all going to be released within a year. I don't know which one's going to be next, but I know the other 3 designs are Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine, Luke Skywalker and Leia Skywalker, and Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Wow, that's right up my street. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but just up in out of shot here on my backdrop, I've got a big Star Wars theme. I've got the prequels in the movie posters and a lightsaber that runs across my wall. So I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan. But just going back to the comments quickly, because I will touch back onto that Star Wars coins. GA and S Metal said Stack Collector supporting the rainbows. Guys with all the nail polish. Yeah, I wouldn't want to lose that bet, to be fair. So fair play to you. But I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out on that, because that's not something I would have ever expected from the Stack Collector. Being a manly tree surgeon that goes up trees, chopping them down with chainsaws, it's not what I would have ever expected. So fair play.
Mate, I don't even know where to get nail polish from. I don't know what I'm going to do here. But yeah, no, I lost a bet. Fair's fair, and you got to do what you got to do, haven't you? So yeah, that's going to be coming fairly soon. I'll try and get it out of the way and try and get it on a really short video. But oh no, I think the bet actually was that I had to review the bullion coins. That's the video I have to do it with. So. Yeah, I think I've got to wear it for when I review the new King Charles Crown bullion coin. So yeah, I'll as I say, I'll try and get it out of the way as quickly as I can, because it's not something I'm really looking forward to do. But at least it's going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah, it will definitely be on the internet forever. That's for sure. But no, fair play to you, mate, for honouring the bet. Or at least I'll probably do it right on views for it, because I imagine quite a few people will check in to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so did you pick up many of the actual King Charles coronation, 1 ounce like coins then with him with the crown? Did you decide to buy many of those?
Only one of each. Yeah, just for collection. I was tempted to get a few in bulk and hold on to them and sell them again in a few years' time. But yeah, no, with Star Wars coming out, because I've unlike the Harry Potter series, I got all the 50p's, which was the silver proofs. These ones here in both the coloured and non-coloured bunk coins. And I regretted not getting the 1 ounces as well. So for the Star Wars, I'll plan on getting all 3 of the 50p's and the 1 ounce, and probably the £5 coin if you do that as well. So it's going to work out at probably just below £250 per release. So you're looking nearly £1,000 for the series. So yeah, I'm holding back on buying much silver and gold at the moment because of that. But as soon as that series is out of the way, I'm going to start hitting hard on getting quite a few bulk bullion buys in. I might even which was that bullion dealer that gives you for 1 ounce for free if you spend more than 240. Was it bullion by post?
That's bullion by post. Yeah, if you spend over £250 on bullion by post and you use the referral code, which I don't know off the top of my head, you do get a 1 ounce free Britannia, silver Britannia. And I've used it a few times. I've probably had 4 or 5 silver Britannias out of them. But now I'm sort of I use Tavex bullion a lot, so I don't ever use bullion by post anymore. But yes, that is in fact right.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I might when I get some bulk orders, I might even take advantage of that. But like you say, Tevix, look, a great dealership, and I desperately want to try a Tevix sweetie. So I'm going to have to get an order from Tevix soon. I've just seen 365 Days of Silver's popped up in the chat. So hello, 365. How you doing, mate? Glad to see you back from your holidays. Just going to have a quick.
Yeah, that's
Star
awesome.
Coins in Oh, sorry, Future. I was just reading GNS Metals' comment there. Is the Star Wars coin a good investment? I think it will be because it's Star Wars, and I think it's going to be popular. What do you think, Future?
I agree. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and it shows already the interest that you guys will know that I only really care to stack Britannias. My stack pretty much only has Britannias, bar a few exceptions. But I love Star Wars that much that I probably will consider buying some. So it does show that it could be popular with Star Wars fans for sure. In regards to are they a good investment, do you know if they're capital gains tax exempt?
Well, yeah, because we're all. Oh, I'm dropping proof there. They've all got a denomination, haven't they? So they will be.
Oh, okay, right, okay, that's good. So yeah,
Because
definitely. Sorry.
it's if it's got a face value that makes it capital gains tax exempt, isn't it? So yeah, I would say that you won't have to pay CGT on any of them.
Ah, okay. See, I kind of actually forgot that. So that's really interesting to know. If they are then capital gains tax exempt, that's definitely much more appealing for myself at least. Welcome 365 Days of Silver. Glad to see you here in the chat. Let's go through some of the comments quickly. Welcome McDonald Bullion, one of the channel members alongside 365 Days of Silver and the Silver Stacker. He said, hey guys, hope you're all well. Great to see you both back. Yeah, it's great to be back. We both had a bit of a break, but we're back for sure. Got some really exciting content coming in the next couple of days, actually. Probably not tomorrow. I'm thinking Tuesday. I've got a really, really exciting announcement, and I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser and tell you that it is something to do with Tavex bullion. And I want to tell you all that if you're thinking about buying some silver or some gold, maybe hold fire until maybe Tuesday, because I've got something that may be beneficial to you when placing an order. So that's all I'm going to say. But keep your eyes peeled for a video in the next 2 to 3 days, because I'm going to do a reveal on the new surprise that's going to really be hopefully quite beneficial to myself and to you guys. So yeah, something exciting coming soon. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Oh, that's absolutely. I'm assuming I know what it's going to be just from the clue, and that's absolutely amazing news, mate. Thank you. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm going to not try and elaborate on it too much, but yeah, you could all probably have a rough idea of what it might be. But there's definitely some exciting news coming in the next couple of days. So I would say, if you're looking at buying something, maybe just hold fire for a few days, because it might be worth your while to do so. But moving on, until that video goes live, I just want to come back to some of the comments. 365 said, it's great to be here. And GS Metal said, no worries, I will buy one and sell it to you guys for a profit. Perfect. John Ingham said, I managed to get 5 King Charles Coronation 1 ounce silver coins, 2 King Charles 1 ounce Britannias, and a couple of Royal Arms 1 ounce silver coins, also future investments. Wow, really nice additions to the stack there, John. I know you've been collecting for a long time, but stacking bullion is a bit more recent for you. So it's really amazing to see you building up your stack there. I think that's a very smart and wise move to do. 365 Days of Silver said, future investments, lots of lots of fiat there. Are you getting ready for a big purchase? No, probably not. I mean, as you guys know, for the moment, I'm trying to fill up my silver bullion case, around 8 capsules at a time, 8 coins at a time of 1 ounce silver Britannias. So that is my monthly target at the moment, alongside saving for my buy to let. But I had a bit of cash on me. I made a bit of cash this weekend, which was always nice. So I thought, why not? Let's get it out on show, because it all ties in with being future investments. 365 said, the Stack Collector, how's the move going?
Oh, it's going. I'm living out of boxes, tripping over things everywhere I go. Just trying to get things unpacked and put away. It is getting there. I mean, I'm a good 80% through it. I couldn't find any kind of tripod today, so I've literally just got my phone clamped to my desk. So it's going well, but it's a bit of a messy time at the moment, unfortunately, but I'll get there very soon.
Yeah, moving is always a bit stressful, but it's a great step for you, mate, to have your own house, and you've obviously done very well for yourself. So I think we could all give you a round of applause for that, because it's a big achievement. So yeah, fair play to you, mate. It was really cool to see the house tour you did as well. It gives a bit more of a it's nice to see sometimes, isn't it? A bit more about the content creator's life and a bit more behind the scenes. It gives it a bit more depth to the channel. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I definitely want to do a similar video when I've got everything decorated and I've got everything how I want it to be, just as a bit of comparison. So that should be a lot of fun. I've just seen. Oh, how do you go? Sorry, I'm struggling to get the comments up on my phone.
Yeah, no worries.
I normally have my laptop on in the background, and as I say, everything's just all over the place at the moment. So I'm struggling to see the comments as well as I would normally do. But
That's all
I
right. I've
think
got my laptop here, in the background. So, I mean, I know that McDonald Bullion has said Tavex Bullion are a great company. Yeah, I rate them highly. And I don't just say that because, we have a network together, if you like, but I really do rate them. Stephen said, I got a couple of the 2017 40th anniversary A New Hope coin bars. They're worth a fortune now. Oh, right. That's interesting. I haven't even seen A New Hope uh, coin bars. Have you seen those, Stack Collector?
it's not one I've seen myself. I can imagine that's got quite the premium to it, definitely. Yeah, no, I'd be very interested to see that. I'll probably give it a Google after the chat today.
Yeah, I know it's a bit like the 1 ounce Una and the Lion silver bars. I wish I bought many more of those. I only bought two, and they carry such high premiums now because they're really popular. So it's like hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? You always wish you bought more when it comes to precious metals.
No, absolutely, and I totally know what you're saying there because I'm after Una for my stack. I got the Dragon Bar recently, didn't I? And I now want to get a few more little 1 ounce bars to go with it. And Una and the Lion is top of the list of bars I want to add to it. So yeah, I mean, I think the best price I've seen them for is around £60 for the Oz at the moment.
Okay.
So like I say, they've got quite a bit of a premium to them.
Yeah, they actually have. Yeah, massively. I just want to say we've got 19 people in our live stream. That's one of the highest amounts we've ever had. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you are up for it and enjoying it, I would really ask that you click the like button, because what that will do is that will advertise the live stream to all of the other people in the precious metals community that would actually like to see the live stream that aren't currently made aware about it. But just going back to some of your wonderful comments from all of the 19 people in the live chat. Um, GNS Metals said Tavex and Shards, no to make it free postage. No to make it free postage. I think you mean, do you want them to make it free postage? Is that right? Mary said, congratulations, FutureInvestments. Thank you very much, Mary. Yeah, very exciting news, which will be coming out very soon. I'm super excited to share it all with you because it's going to be awesome for everyone. The Candy Floss King, one of my winners, I believe the Candy Floss King was the winner of my 1,000 subscriber draw, and he won a 1 ounce silver Valiant coin from the Royal Mint from me. It was the first ever giveaway I did. So welcome the Candy Floss King. All is well, thank you. Hope you're doing well. And going to 365 Days of Silver, he said, the Stack Collector, are you fully in the new place now, or are you still back and forth moving stuff out?
No, yeah, I'm in the new place now. The tenancy ended on my old flat on the 30th of last month. So this last week or so, I think since Saturday, I've been fully living here. So it's a little bit of a tip at the moment. As I say, it's a lot of things are still boxed up, and I'm still trying to find things out. My collection is all over the place. I don't know where things are at the moment, but yeah, no, I'm fully in the new place, and I'm trying to get it up to scratch as quickly as possible.
Yeah, awesome. Nickel Stacking, welcome to the live stream, mate. He said, yo, yo. Mary will always give thanks. Said, do you think silver foil back notes will make a good purchase? I have my eye on too. Good price too. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about silver foil notes. Do you, Stack Collector, know much about those?
Yeah, I know a little bit. I've not got any yet. I'm definitely it's silverbacks and goldbacks. It's a banknote that's made out of very very thin leaf of silver or gold, and I just think they're absolutely cool. There's the dragonback silver one, which I think is amazing, and I need to get a few of them for myself. I think it was World Money Wins took one round with him everywhere and was trying to rip it, and he couldn't rip it. And you can, I believe in the States you can actually use them as legal tender, and you can spend things with them. They have a conversion rate. I think they're really cool things, and I think if you can get hold of them for the right price, then they probably will make a good investment, because people do look to buy them. I'm looking to pick some up. I made a big mistake recently when I found out that they actually do a Dragon Ball Z gold back with all the different characters on there, and from being born in the 80s, I'm a big original Dragon Ball series fan. So yeah, definitely something I think would be a good investment if you hold on to them for long enough, because we are a popular thing, and likely to go up in value going forwards.
Yeah. Oh, really interesting to hear that there. And yeah, I love those cases that the um, coins that you've got there came in. What coins were those? Those 50p's?
That's
Those.
the Harry Potter series, that is, with the perspex cases.
Yeah, yeah. Are they proof coins?
Yes, they're all silver. That's the silver-proof version of the Harry Potter collection. I got all the 50p's available. Well, not the gold ones, but I got the silver-proofs, the coloured and non-coloured bunks.
Okay. Are they an ounce in silver weight or?
No, they're only here's Dumbledore to finish off. So, they're a 50p, standard 50p, so they're 8 grams in weight. So these work out per gram of silver work out a lot more expensive than the 1 ounce silver proofs. These are it's 70 or 75 pound each. These are, and the silver proofs 1 ounce are obviously just under £100, and these are roughly about 1/4 ounce of silver. So they're a very expensive way to stack silver. But as you know, I'm a huge fan of the 50p. So I do like to get the silver-proof 50p's when it's a series I like, such as the Harry Potter and the Star Wars coming out tomorrow again at 9 a.m. One thing I will say about that is I do want to show some disappointment at the Royal Mint, because they've done 2 absolutely amazing franchises as a series there. But they've also released a J.R.R. Tolkien £2 coin.
Oh, I did not know that. That's really interesting. No, I had no idea actually.
Yeah, it's just for one £2 coin. I want to know where the Lord of the Rings series is. If we have Star Wars and Harry Potter, I want Lord of the Rings too. So yeah, but yeah, no, that's a bit of news there. There's the J.R.R. Tolkien £2 coin, commemorative £2 coin that is going to be released soon. That's another one I'm probably going to get in silver-proof and in brilliant uncirculated, because as I say, I'm quite a big fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Yeah, I do like the Lord of the Rings films as well. I've got to say, we clearly have massive differences in our stacks, don't we? You're definitely a numismatic commemorative edition proof collector stacker, whereas I'm a bit more bland, really. I stack only the Britannias, and very rarely dabble into commemorative or select piece. Maybe I've got a few Una and the Lions, a couple of 007 James Bond bars. I do want to get some Chinese dragon coin bars, but interesting how stackers do tend to collect and stack differently. Some seem to stack more for weight value, whereas some almost collect more than stacking, but in the side effect, it's still stacking as a bonus, isn't it? It's quite interesting how people do different ways of investing and stacking when it comes to these sort of things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's one of the things I absolutely love about stacking is how diverse it is, and I'm definitely one to say there's no one right or wrong way to stack. If it, do stack the way that you love. I, as you say, you're 100% right. I'm more of a numismatic collector than I am a stacker. I do enjoy stacking. I do get bullion, but and because I am a collector, when I buy bullion, I deliberately try and buy ones that aren't necessarily the standards. So if I think this pile here is mostly bullion, but if you look, that's Myths and Legend bullion, Merlin from the Myths and Legend bullion, Little John from the Robin Hood and Myths and Legend bullion, Standard Britannia, Robin Hood, Standard Britannia, and Maid Marian. So as you can see, I'll get the standard ones. I've got a couple here, but even when I purchase bullion, I try and get ones that do have a different reverse on them, or a unique picture, and that is definitely the collector in me. But you do pay for it. As I say, a 1 ounce silver proof, a new 1 ounce silver proof from a Royal Mint like this here is it's you don't get much pocket change from £100. So when you're looking on websites where you're getting the best value bullion for probably around 25, 26 quid, you could be getting 4 ounce to the 1 ounce. So you definitely are paying for the commemorative coins, but it's just something I love so much. So it makes me happy, and I love building the collection.
Yeah, just touching on the coin you mentioned and showed earlier, the Merlin coin that you've got, the 1 ounce silver Merlin coin. I was lucky enough to unbox a 1 ounce gold Merlin coin that Tavex Bullion sent me for an unboxing and review. Unfortunately, I'll have to send them back, but as I say, I'm not really a stacker for any things particularly other than Britannia's, but that coin, I mean, in gold, it is a showstopper. That Merlin design, even in silver, just looking at it when you had it there, is unreal. But when I held it in gold, it is so hard to justify not buying some of those and adding them into a stack, because it's just, for me, a design that I don't actually know much about the Merlin and Myths and Legends series per se. I have a very basic knowledge of it, but just looking at the aesthetic design of it's lovely, and the gold really does balance out well with the front design of the brushed silver and then the mirrored finish in the background. It's a really nice piece. Obviously, I assume you like it as well. Hence the reason you've got a 1 ounce silver piece there.
Yeah. I got into the Myths and Legends series right at the beginning with Robin Hood, and I'm going to be honest with you. I said this on the channel. I said one thing I loved about the Robin Hood series is that they cost about the same price as a normal bullion. You pay pennies extra because this right here is the King Arthur bullion coin. So I thought that's brilliant the way that they did that. But as soon as I said that, they brought out the second Myths and Legend range, which is the King Arthur one, and that one has a £5 bunk coin and a silver proof to go with it. So instead of just spending the money on one bullion coin per release, now because I do have a little bit of OCD and I have to get every single one of each one I get, I have to get the £5 bunk, the bullion, and the silver proof. But you don't have to do that. And one of the great things about the Myths and Legend range is that they do it in a bullion, so it's a very cost effective way to get something that's a nice collectible coin and a bullion as well for the stack.
Yeah, very well said there, mate. I'm just going to go on to some of the comments because you guys are smashing it. First of all, I want to say thank you for hitting that like button. They've gone up from 4 to 12 likes, so really appreciate it. That will get the live stream out to anybody that does want to watch it. John Ingham said, John Ingham said, I mainly use Tavex Bullion now as they are the cheapest bullion dealers around and their sweets are gorgeous future investments. If I can get in before Future Investments eats them, I will be up there tomorrow. Yeah, I've got a few here actually. I can't lie. I do have a good stack of Tavex Bullion sweets. And do you know what? I'm actually going to have a cheeky one now. But yeah, no, I really rate Tavex Bullion. I really do. I'm pleased I found them. McDonald Brilliant said, if you guys were to stack completely from scratch again, oh, very good question. What would you buy? That's a brilliant question. I'll hand it over to you because I'm about to eat one of these Tavex sweets. But yeah, I'll answer that after yourself. But yeah, what would you, if you were to start again, knowing what you know now and everything, what would you start with stacking? What would you invest in terms of precious metals?
I think we're probably going to say the same thing. It's going to be, stacking by Standard Britannia. Capital gains, tax exemption reasons, the national bullion of the country we're in, very easy to get, and they're a no-brainer when it comes to stacking. I think what would be a lot more interesting for me is what if I was to start collecting all over again, where would I start? And that would probably be the 50p's. I think the commemorative 50p's are an amazing way to get new people into collecting. I know even yourself's got your own collection of the 50p's, haven't you? And quite a lot of people you talk to will, they'll find them in the change and keep hold of them because they're a better coin than the rest of them. So yeah, I think that's probably where I'd start. I'd start with Silver Britannias again for stacking, and then look to diversify a little bit out of that. I love the kookaburras. They're probably one of my favourite foreign bullions. I'm really wanting to get my hands on a Libertad. I know Shiny Precious Metals has recently got a Libertad, hasn't he? And he's had that on his channel. I'm so jealous of that because I do want a Libertad. Yeah, I'd probably, because I'd still be myself, so I'd probably, start all over again from scratch, just doing the same thing as I've done this time.
Yeah, very interesting there, mate. I'm similar. I would continue doing what I've always done. I would buy Britannias and probably only Britannias. Instead of pacing my initial investments out of gold bullion and silver bullion over, I started buying it in around 2020. And it took me a long time to work up the courage to start spending significant amount of money. For a long time, I was only buying a 1 gram bar a month, if that. And then once I realised the benefits, I, on multiple occasions, have dumped over £2,500 in single purchases on precious metals. So if I was to do it again, I would buy what I have done, Britannias in gold and silver form, but I would make larger purchases in one go to get more value for my money, to lower the cost of each individual bullion coin, whether it's silver or gold, be it a 1 ounce coin or a 1/4 ounce coin. So I would do the same, but I think I would take the bulk of what I had in my savings and go big and do like 5 grand in silver on one go, do maybe like 10 grand in gold on one go, and just really get the benefits of buying a large amount in one go. Because as we know, historically, gold and silver always goes up in value. So if you can do it like that, you tend to get a better value for your money. So I think I'd do it like that. But as it stands, I'm really happy with how I've stacked. I don't really have any precious metal pieces that I particularly regret buying. So yeah, great question though. Very good question. I know Medgas guy has said those are collector's coins. How well do you think the Star Wars coins will do tomorrow? Will they sell out fast? What do you think, Zach Collector?
I think we're going to do well. I really do think Star Wars is going to do well. I've been thinking I'm going to kind of change this the subject a little bit, but to also keep it quite on topic because I've been thinking about this recently, and if it looks to me that the Royal Mint are trying to bring out the big guns right now. In a short period of time, we've had a Harry Potter series, we've had we're now having the Star Wars series. We're getting new commemorative £2, which we had to wait a very long time for that. We're getting a lot of new commemorative 50p's. I was pondering it, and I was thinking, I wonder if they're trying to get more people into coin collecting because the Royal Mint are worried about CBDCs. Because obviously, if we go cashless, if we go to a digital currency society, well, Royal Mint, which is a huge business, would go completely bust.
Yeah. Very good points there. You're definitely pushing out a lot of the series coins right now, aren't they? I know they're heavy on the Myth and Legend series and clearly on the Star Wars. And they must be making profit from it, because I guess they wouldn't push it. Whereas when you look at their 1 ounce silver bars, they completely removed them from the website. It was John actually who introduced me to that fact, and I straight away had to go and check it out. And yeah, if you go on the Royal Mint website now, you can't get any 1 ounce silver bars. So I guess they're just trying to focus on what makes them the most money, and it's probably those commemorative and special edition and bespoke designs, because they carry such higher premiums that per item value they're making the most money off of their customers in that way over maybe say generic Britannias.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely where they. Although I wonder which one they do make more money off, the commemorative or the Britannias, because I bet they sell a hell of a lot more of the standard Britannias. So they are cheaper per coin, but I bet they sell a larger bulk of them. So
100%,
yeah, I'd be interested to know which side of the business the Royal Mint make more profit on, the commemorative side or the bulk side, because they run it as two separate parts of the business. If you ever call them, there's an automated message where you have to select whether or not you want to speak to commemorative coins or bullion coins, and depending on which one you pick, you go to the relevant department. But yeah, no, as I say, I mean, they must be slight. I know they're obviously making very good money right now. As I say, it's a huge business, but they must be a bit worried about CBDCs, because if it does go digital and there's no cash left, who's going to be collecting coins if there's no coins to collect? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it must be. I mean, all I'm saying is, if I was the CEO, if I was a mint master of the Royal Mint, and I could see all these digital current, CBDCs looming on the horizon, I'd be worried. I would be generally worried. Did you see the news this week that they're going to be looking to be able to use CBDCs to verify age of people when buying things like alcohol and tobacco, things like that? So they are definitely using CBDCs in alongside an aspect of control, 100%.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've researched quite a bit into this since it's become a popular topic. Generically, what happens is, I think with the banks is their transactions, they all go to the Bank of England at a certain point in the month as like the root hub. They all get sent there, but the Bank of England doesn't get the information from those transactions saying that's Future Investments purchase. He lives here. This is how much he purchases, and vice versa for the stat collector and everyone. Whereas when it will go to CBDCs, that will go all the way back to the Bank of England, all the transactions from each bank for the month. But now it will have all of the information from every single purchase of every customer. So you're right, it's going to be much more trackable and traceable. Like 365 has just said, CBDCs equals control and privacy removed completely, and it's true. Yeah, it's true. I think this is only going to push up the prices of tangible gold and silver bullion, because that's why people love it, because it's private, it's quite secret, government doesn't need to know about it, and you can sell it if it's capital gains tax exempt and bang that money into your bank account, and no one can say anything about it. So when CBDCs come in force, I really see gold specifically going up quite a large amount.
Yeah, no, I do. If you allow you to buy it, that's the problem with CBDCs, isn't it? But as we were saying, I think this was Rishi Sunak who said this week that they'll be looking to use, because if you go to a shop and put your card or whatever it is, phone, whatever, to buy like a bottle of wine, the tills will be able to recognise your age and everything about you, because as you said yourself, till now it just runs on more of a ledger system. And you're just a number in the in the big massive numbers. But from now on, if it goes more like to the ID system, isn't it? Where you remember a few years ago where we were looking to enforce people having to carry IDs around with them.
Yeah,
It basically makes it so you're forced to carry your ID around with you because you'll be forced to use your wallet as your ID.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Like 365 said, control and privacy out the window with CBDCs.
no, absolutely, absolutely. And just going back to the comments, picking up on McDonald Bullion he said Royal Mint created a lot of coins for the rest of the world. They've not been minting circulated coins for some years now. Try to do the Royal Mint tour. The VIP experience takes you behind the scenes. No, I want to do the tour, McDonald Bullion. It's something I'm hoping to do this year. I want to go and do the Strike Your Own, but I've never had a chance to yet. So it's definitely something I'm going to be looking into. But I didn't know that they don't actually, they've stopped minting circulating coins and having been doing them for years for a few years. I thought they were still minting some circulating coins. I know there's other mints that do so as well. But that's news to me. So thank you very much for letting me know that. And it's a free buffet as well on the VIP experiences apparently. So that's quite cool. Maybe we'll have to meet up sometime down there, future, and go and do the experience together.
Yeah, maybe we should do like a future investments and stack collector convention where we get 365 down. I know John lives in London because he's always visiting Talix Bullion. We must get like a future investment stack collector YouTube convention down and do something like that. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
I like that. I think it absolutely would be like a meet and greet. I mean, it's something that I've been pondering doing myself. Maybe a little bit later down the line when I'm more set up with everything. I'm not sure 365 would be too up for a meet and greet, but and
No.
also a few other channels because I understand them keeping their identities secretive. So I'm toying with. I'm going to let you know. You get all the gossip on these future investment lives, but I'm toying with the idea of doing a face reveal.
No way. Oh my God. That's a big one.
Yeah, no, that's what I say. You get all the gossip on these. But yeah, no, I've been thinking of maybe showing my face in a few videos going forwards and that kind of thing. Which is obviously, it's something I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's something I am heavily considering right now. But there is a security aspect to consider, as we all know, stack precious metals. But that is something I am thinking of doing. So it is something you may do, and you may see soon. And the meet and greet going around the Royal Mint experience is one of the ways that I have actually been considering on doing it. So keep tuned in for that going forwards. But a little spoiler there for everyone.
Lee put everyone can wear a balaclava when we go to this convention.
I love that.
I don't think the Royal Mint would let us in for a convention if we was all wearing balaclavas, especially if we was all excited and running to greet each other with balaclavas on.
Yeah, I love it. I love that idea of a masquerade convention where nobody shows their faces. That's brilliant. But no, you're absolutely right with balaclavas. I think there might be a red button under a desk very quickly if we did that.
Yeah, I think so. Looking just at some of the comments. Sorry if we miss your comments, guys. We get so involved in our chats, and you guys pump out so many amazing comments. It's hard to keep up, but it's never intentional if we miss them. Idea apart said, considering the current time, should we invest more in silver or gold? Now, that's a brilliant question. And earlier on in the live chat, I was just having a little look while we were chatting at the current prices for the month of gold and silver. Now, silver is actually down. The month's change for this time last month, it's down £1.27 per ounce. So it's down 6.57%. It's sitting at £18.04. And gold is also down for the month compared to this time last month. Quite a bit more. It's down 3.69%. So it's actually £57.54 cheaper than it was this time last month. So to answer your question, on paper, on the graphs of the prices, yes, now would be a good time to buy because the prices are lower than last month's prices for this time last month. And it's a pretty significant drop when you look at the graph. So if you're looking to buy, now is probably a good time because you're going to buy into what you might call the dip, although we never really know when the dip is. But in my opinion, I think you cannot go wrong with buying silver or gold, whether the price is high or low, as long as your holding plan is for the long term, because I think it's a long term investment that will pay out in dividends over the long term. Especially gold, silver, I see more as an investment because it's got more upside potential, whereas we know gold is a really solid, strong, consistent base. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Stack Collector? How do you see? You might disagree with my thoughts there, but yeah, well, I'm interested to hear what you think. Is it a good time to buy silver and gold now?
No, I absolutely completely agree with what you just said. I was going to bring it up myself, actually, the price of silver and gold, purely because we are actually both riding quite low at the moment, as you say. As you say, both down on the month. Gold also down on the week. Silver, however, has come up very slightly this week, and I think it's risen by 5 pence per ounce since since the end of last week. So silver, it might be a great time to buy that, as it may, maybe starting back on an uptrend again. Definitely, both of them are riding lower than I feel they should be right now, which is when I look to buy an asset. I mean, I kind of go into it the same way as what Warren Buffett does. I know this is how he says he looks at his stocks. He looks at a company, looks at the price of the stocks, and just think, or an asset and price of that asset, and just think, is that where it should be? Is that a little bit low, or is that high? And I think both gold and silver are a little bit low right now. If I was going to go back to the original question, if I was going to start again, which one would I pick to look into? I mean, there's a lot of factors and variables to look into. One of which is personal preference. I have a personal preference over silver. It's a nicer looking metal to me. I like it. I think it looks better than gold. It's obviously not anywhere near as valuable, but it is also not as close to an all-time high as gold is as well. So I do think with silver you've got more room for it to move, and maybe you have with gold. I think with silver you've got more of a chance of a spike going upwards, whereas gold I think gold's going to go up. I think both precious metals are definitely going to go up, but with gold being up there towards the all-time high, it's you're going to see gradual steady increase going forward. But silver, as it has been historically, I think it's the more volatile assets. So you get higher peaks and troughs, which means you've got more scope to make money off it.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. You get more scope to make money off it. Very true. Um, I saw McDonald Bullion, one of the channel members, said it's good to buy in summer. Price for precious metals seem to drop, then rise in the winter. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, going by the current state of the graphs and the prices, yeah, it looks to be true. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because in winter people don't go out as much because it's cold and wet, especially in England, and it's easier to spend money when you're sitting at home and sitting on the laptop or the phone, and you're not going out as much because you're not spending as much. So people have a little bit more cash to think about what to do with. So that maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, it is. It's spending trends. In the summer, you get very different spending trends to what you do in the winter because of everything you just said. People are more trapped inside. People are going on holidays during the summer. People are out at festivals. They're just out more often, and it leads to very, very different spending trends, which leads to different companies, different assets, having more or less money invested in them during the summer or winter, which puts the price up and down. So yeah, there are things to look into like that, where you will do get seasonal trends for assets, but it's again like anything else, it's not guaranteed. There may be something else that affects the asset far greater than the season. But no, as a rule of thumb, some assets do a lot better in the summer than the winter, and some do a little better in the winter than we do in summer. But yeah, no, it's a genuinely definitely a thing that is, mate.
Yeah, very interesting topic there. Just going off of topic, 365 Days of Silver, another channel member. Um, he said completely off topic, but the balaclava comment made me think of um, James English. Has anyone subscribed to James English? He did an interview with someone that escaped prison 5 times And this particular chap walked into a London gallery, stole a Picasso painting, and walked out and got into a taxi. Unbelievable. Very interesting. Interview was 3 hours long. I put it on my TV to watch it. Wow, that's crazy. The fact that you could just walk into a gallery and walk out of a Picasso painting. Well, I assume he got caught for it. The fact that he's talking about it. Mental. Steven said people go on holiday in the summer, so they need the cash. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, I noticed that I tend to spend more in the winter investments because you're doing less, so you have more money left over in your current account. But on another topic, I'm still a massive fan of the S&P 500. A lot of friends that know I have it are really interested in starting it themselves. Whoa, I've just got to stop a minute and say, William Gray, he's done a super chat. Welcome to the chat. And he said, you are amazing. And he's donated 19.99. Unbelievable.
That's,
Holy moly.
well, thank you. Well done, William Gray. That's amazing of you, mate. That's I've just seen that myself. That's absolutely incredible. You are amazing, William.
Yeah, you absolutely are amazing, William. Thank you so much for that. That's super kind of you. I'm glad you're obviously enjoying the live stream from both myself and the Stack Collector. It means a lot to us both, but that is extremely generous of you. So thank you ever so much. It means an awful lot. A little bit lost for words there. Wow, 365 Days of Silver said, William, and a shocked face. Crazy. Oh my God, crazy. Thank you very much, William Gray. Super kind of you. The Candy Floss King said, I'm the opposite. I spend more on investments in the summer as work is good for me. Oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, you have a bit more cash in the summer because you make more cash in the summer. Very interesting. Lee Parola put, my word, Will. Yeah, shocked a few people. McDonald Billion, another channel member, said simply, wow. Yeah, that's got to be one of the biggest super chats we've had. I know I've been lucky enough to have quite a few. Yourself, the Stack Collector, and 365 Days of Silver have got to be the top tier super chatters. But that's a pretty record breaking £20 donation. So thank you very much, William. Yeah, but yeah, I was just touching on the S&P 500. I'm in love with it. I mean, I love the fact that it's an index fund. I love the fact that it's super low risk. I love that you can see your potential analytical growth based on your average annual yield return on the current return that the S&P 500 yields on the Vanguard. It just when you look into like Warren Buffett, like you mentioned earlier, he's a massive advocate of the S&P 500. A lot of the very successful investors are a huge advocate for the S&P 500. If you've got time on your side and you've got a good amount of cash to stick in on a regular basis to do basically a dollar cost average, I see it as such an amazing investment. It makes me happy knowing that I've got that in my portfolio. I mean, how do you feel? I know you've had better returns than I have because you've been doing it longer. You've had some great returns.
Yeah. I know. I told you earlier, didn't I? A few years ago. Probably when would it have been? It would have been probably around 2012, so probably about 10, 11 years ago, something like that. I was working in offices. I had some different money invested in a couple of different places, and I put a bit of money into the S&P 500, and I think it was around £1,500 that I put in, and things happened. I moved job. And it might sound daft, but I completely forgot about this £1,500 that was in this account. And then last year, I was getting on top of things. I was just trying to just get all my accounts into one place. I was looking into my investments and all that kind of thing. And I came across this one account that I'd opened all these years ago. And from £1,500, I think it's now on something like 8,400. So it definitely goes to show the benefits that you can have just by leaving something in the S&P 500. Now that was as I say, that was 1,500 that was put in one go and left there. Now I opened another one, which is basically the S&P 500. It's a US Open large cap fund, which, you know, as I say, is basically the S&P 500, but not exactly. And I started that last year, and I think that one alone is riding at about 7% up at the moment. So definitely a great investment to go into, especially if you can if you get lucky and hit the price at the right time. But yeah, no, an awesome investment. But I want to touch on something I've just seen flashed in the comments where
Yeah.
John said Mexico is running out of silver and has announced that they'll be out of they'll have no silver left in 11 years. So is that something you'd heard of, Future? I've not heard anything about that as of yet. So that's quite big news if that's true, and that will massively put the price of silver up.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've not heard that news. Saying Mexico's run out of mining silver, proves the world's highest mining country. 11 years left, and Australia has 6 years worth left. So, I mean, I can believe it because it's a non-renewable resource, isn't it? It's something that's mined out of the Earth's crust, essentially. And
Mm.
more and more people that become into precious metals in this world and become aware of investing, the more it's going to get depleted, which isn't a bad thing because it means if you have invested already, it's going to only help you in terms of increasing the value of your stack. But I've just got to stop a minute and say 365 Days of Silver. He's done it again. I don't know if you've seen it in the comments, but he has gifted another 5 future investment memberships. So yeah, that's like a value of like crazy money. I mean, crazy. So unbelievable. I mean, he said in the chat, Wills has started something and then he's donated 5 channel memberships. So unbelievable. Thank you so much, 365 Days of Silver. You are one of the most generous people I think I've ever met. Clearly alongside um, William as well. Unbelievable. I'm just looking in the comments. It says that Creative Precious Metals was gifted a membership by 365 Days of Silver. So congratulations, Creative Precious Metals. You will be a channel member for the next month. Welcome to the channel membership and its perks. William Gray, oh brilliant, was gifted the channel membership, rightly deserved as well, as William was the person that donated 1999. So you are now a channel member for at least a month. So thank you very much. And there should be another 3 people selected as channel members because it says that 365 has gifted 5 channel memberships. So there'll be some lucky people in the chat becoming channel members. So unbelievable generosity in this live stream today. I love you all and appreciate all of your support from watching, liking, and doing the super chats. Unbelievable. It means a lot. So thank you very much. I mean, what a bloke 365 Days of Silver is, eh?
Oh, he's an inspiration, and literally an inspiration, as he was one of the people who inspired me to start my channel. But no, generally is an inspiration and a great role model and a great example of how to be. Because you know, the generosity that guy has got it astounds me. So yeah, no, what a nice and kind thing for 365 Days of Silver to do. That is so awesome of you, and yeah, and you, 365 and William both super generous. You know, it's amazing to see such generosity in the community.
Yeah, it really is. It just shows that sometimes karma is a thing, and if you're a good person, it comes back to you. Because look at the 365 Days of Silver growth. I mean, he's probably one of the most known precious metals content creators in the community now, with over 7,000 subscribers. And he started his channel after I started mine, and he came out of nowhere, and he just blew up. He went from like 1,000 to 7,000 in like a month. It was unreal. So it goes to show that your generosity does get passed back to you every now and then. So yeah, very awesome. So thank you again, William and 365 Days of Silver. Just going back to some of the comments. 365 said YouTube decides who gets them. So very, very interesting. So yeah, awesome. It's like a lucky dip. Liberty Bleed Silver says, hello everyone. Hope you're all having a great day and an awesome live. I'm trying to stay busy, so I'll be listening in, not lurking, just working. So we'll be on in the background. Love that. Thank you for putting us on in the background and listening. I absolutely love that. Welcome. I hope you're doing well, and I hope work is going well as well. Nickel Stacken said, LBS, yo. 365 greeted LBS. And William Gray said, thank you so much. You guys are an incredible community. Yeah, it is an unbelievable community. So, yeah, how's your portfolio? I mean, are you coming back to investments as this is an investment channel? Are you happy with your current portfolio of precious metals, index funds, and stuff? I know you touched on a minute ago. You've got something slightly different from the S&P 500 alongside of it. Is there anything more you're looking to add, or are you just looking to increase what your current portfolio already is?
Okay, so with that, what I'm actually looking to do soon is when I'm fully settled into a new place here, I'm going to re-evaluate my entire portfolio, see what I've got where, and I'm not saying I'm going to change it completely, but I'm going to reassess the entire portfolio. The reason for that is, I'm a few years down now from where I was when I started investing. I feel I've learned a lot over the years. I definitely know things now that I didn't know then, and I'd like to, to, just see if I can invest a little bit more smarter with the cash, and see what I can do going forward. I'll definitely probably keep the S&P 500 as you say on a pound cost average. Um, but yeah, I'd like to see if I can do a little bit more active investing, a bit more short term investments as well, and just see if I can just see if I can make a little bit more profit on being more of an active investor, as it were.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of like taking a step back and reevaluating your current portfolio and trying to update and adapt to your investments and move with the times. And from the sounds of it, you're looking to try and see how to make potentially quicker profit on shorter term trades. Is that sort of what you're thinking in terms of maybe buying and selling?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, just as you said perfectly there, just trying to take advantage of when I see, because you've got to be honest. When you dollar cost averaging, there's times you see it and you've got a little bit of a bump, and you're like, oh, that's a good price there. And then there's times where you'll have a little bit of a down. And I'm just going to try and get in and get out. Now I know this is where it gets risky. And this is where 75% of people who invest lose their money. But I'm not going to go all in. I'm not going to go daft, and I'm certainly not going to be using any leverage. I recommend that people never use leverage when investing. And if there's anyone out there who's not aware of what leverage is basically when you borrow money from the brokers to put down for the trade. So if you were to use a times 10 leverage and you invested £100, you're actually investing £1,000. So you're making 10 times a profit, but you're also making 10 times a loss, and you don't just lose your own money, you lose money for somebody else's money, and you end up in a lot of debt for it. So I'm certainly we keep staying away from leverage, but I'm just looking for more, taking advantage when I see something at a good price, or when I see something that's riding particularly low, try and buy it and then hold it for only a few weeks and sell it at a profit and take that and move it on. Just try and build the portfolio a little bit quicker that way.
Yeah, I love that, mate. I love the methodology behind your strategy there, and great advice about leveraging. And I've got to say, I completely agree. I mean, when you look at all these millionaires, billionaires, it's easy for them to say get a bridging loan and do all that sort of stuff and buying property. But when you've got so much expendable cash, it's easy and low risk for you to invest with money that isn't yours. But when you're not at that point and you're growing your entrepreneurship, your portfolio, maybe a business, maybe just your stack, I do think that you should only invest with the money you've got available and the money that you can afford to lose. And as an example of this, I mean, obviously, I invest in tangible bullion, be it gold and silver. I invest in the index fund. I'm saving to invest in my first buy to let property. But all of that capital is capital that I have agreed with myself I can afford to lose. And if I was to lose it, I'm not going to be underwater with those situations. So I think it's really sensible to invest wisely and to a degree of confidence to know that if it was all to go Pete Tong, you can weather the storm. And I think if you get to that point where you've invested so much, maybe you're someone that puts 10 grand of your savings into crypto, really think about that, because can you afford to lose 10 grand, So that's just how I do it. Everyone's different, and there's no really right or wrong answer when it comes to investing, but I do think there is a right or wrong answer when it comes to being safe or not when it comes to investing.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to double down on one thing you've said there, which is never invest money you can't afford to lose, and that is so important, because the second you invest it, you've lost that money. That money's gone. It's doing something. It's not something you can just withdraw again to pay a bill or withdraw again to go to the shops. That money's doing something. It has a
Yeah.
purpose. It's gone to you and to all intensive purposes. So yeah, it's so important to know you can only afford to invest money you can afford to lose, because you do lose it the second you invest it. Now you may get it back down the line when you cash in those investments, but you need to be able to make sure you can do that at the right time. So absolutely 100%. Always stay safe when investing. This is money that I've been investing for a few years, that has been in my investments for a few years. This isn't money I'm taking out of things that I need. So this is money that if a very worst case scenario happened, and the worst bubble burst happened in history, and I lost literally everything, I could still carry on. I've
Yeah.
lost my stocks, I've lost those assets, but I haven't lost the things that are keeping me going from day to day. So it is so very, very important, not always to stay safe, always to do your research. But and the thing is about it is that there's levels to investing, and this is something I said to you recently, wasn't it? That there's advice that will work for some people, and advice will work for different people, and that depends where you are. And going back to what you said, millionaires and billionaires, they can invest in a very different way to the average Joe, to people like me and yourself. I cannot invest the way a millionaire can invest, because they can put huge amounts of money in, and that's not even a big risk to them, because we've got so much backing them up. So I do think it's important to know. I know you said yourself before in one of the previous lives that stay in your lane. Make sure you're getting the advice from the right people, for the right people. Because I know you did what turned out to be quite a controversial video regarding pensions, but the advice in the video was perfectly good for the people that need that kind of advice. Because what you said is, don't ever look to invest in a pension if you are able to invest that money more wisely yourself. And if you can make more profit than it would be interesting about pension, then yeah, absolutely. Don't put that money into a pension. Put that money into whatever else you're going to put it into to make that extra money. But if you're not an active investor, if you are somebody who wants to just put a little bit of money away every month, and then when they come to retire, have a nice pot to rely on, definitely look into the benefits of a private work-based pension, because your workplace may contribute to the pension. They may match what you put in. There may be a lot of benefits to it. So just because one piece of advice works for one person doesn't necessarily means it works for all people. And that's definitely something to take into account. It's like I said, I feel I'm in a different place myself now to what I was when I started investing. And when people start investing, I think it's important. And this isn't just me saying this. Warren Buffett has said this. Peter Lynch has said this. Charlie Munger has said this. And they're three of the biggest investors on the planet. If you are new to investing, dollar cost average the S&P 500. Just start off with that. That's where you want to start on. There's not going to be, investing doesn't work like this. It's a magical get rich quick scheme, and I'm gonna pick a magical asset today, and by tomorrow I've made 10 million. It just doesn't work like that. That's day trading, which is extremely risky. And so it's Sorry, I've kind of gone off track of what I was saying there, mate. But yeah, it's one of those things, mate. Where always stay to where where you need to be when you invest in. Always stay safe, and like you said, never invest money which you can't afford to lose.
No, yeah, very well said there. And thank you for your comments regarding my controversial video, because it certainly was very controversial. And my idea was behind that to raise some ears and make some points. But there's a good saying I like, and in order to have an opinion, you have to risk being offensive, and it's very true. To have an opinion, you have to risk being offensive. So sometimes that happens. But so yeah, no, thank you for your comments. Very good points, and very well described in terms of all of your comments there. Um, I just want to touch on some of the comments in the comment section, because we've got a lot of amazing comments coming through. I know Currency of Earth has joined the live stream, so thank you for joining. Nickel Stacking said, I'm not sure if he's joking with this comment, by the way, but he said, I will be happy with 10,000 ounces of silver, 250 ounces of gold, 25 ounces of platinum, 1,000 pounds of copper, 1,000 pounds of nickel, and 500 pounds of lead. If that's true, that's probably one of the world's largest private stack collections.
The big one.
Excuse me. Yeah, it is a big one. 365 Days of Silver said, I did the same thing with my portfolio a few months back, actually. Really cut back on the crypto and speculative stocks and transferred the money into more blue chip stocks. Yeah, very interesting. Um, Blue chip stocks. Would you like to elaborate on what blue chip stocks are, or because I'm not that knowledge up on technically blue chip stocks.
My understanding, and I might be wrong here, but my understanding is just you standard stocks and shares.
Yes, I've just had a little research while you said that, and it says that a blue chip stock is a stock issued by a large, well-established, financially sound company with an excellent reputation. Normally, such companies have operated for many years, have dependable earnings, and usually pay dividends to investors. A blue chip company typically has a market capitalization in billions. So basically, it's a safe stock or investment, isn't it? I suppose you could kind of say that the S&P 500 is like a blue chip stock because it's very low risk. The companies are, some of them are in their billions. So yeah, I'm definitely more of a blue chip sort of stock investor. If that's the case, I stay away from more speculative investments. So interesting to hear that 365 had a bit of a change up there. So we go down just through some of the current comments. Nickel Stacking said leverage buying got the Hunt boys in trouble. Side the Soundman, one of the channel members, said day trading takes a lot of your time. If you have the time, then I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah, it's very controversial because there's some people that do it well and do it very well, and they seem to only day trade for a few hours in the morning. But when you hear about most people who've tried to learn and experience doing day trading, a lot of people tend to have losses. So it's definitely an achievable life to have if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got anything against day trading at all. It's just leverage. I'm completely against. If you're there trading your own money, then that's absolutely fine. I always take. Yeah, I know what you're saying with those. Those channels where they do 2 hours trading in the morning and that's it. They made 10 grand. I always take that with a pinch of salt because I think those channels kind of you know view everything through rose-colored glasses, as it were, and things are maybe made to look a bit better than they perhaps are in reality of things. But I do know there are some people out there that make a lot of money through day trading. There's a lot of people out there that make a lot of money through using leverage, but it's just such a risk, and you can lose so much so quickly through using leverage. It's not something I would ever do. But day trading, and certainly short-term trading, is something I want to get into because it interests me. I find that I love researching all the assets and seeing where they are and what's going off around the world and what's likely to affect something. You know, it's something I have a lot of fun in doing, and as I say, it's something I'm going to do when I'm more settled in, because he's right in what we're saying about the time it takes. You've got to sit there, and I'm quite weird, but I can sit there looking at numbers for hours upon end, and I don't really get bored. So I can sit and stare at the price and watch it go up and down with my finger literally hovering over the close now button. So, which is what you basically have to do when you're, you know, short-term trading and active trading. You need to be able to close it like literally there and then. So yeah, it does take a hell of a lot of the time of your time. Sorry.
Yeah, very true. Well said there. Gary Crawford said, 365, I have just joined. I am a new stacker and have learned so much from you guys. That's a lovely comment. And I think that's what people like 365, the Silver Stacker, McDonald Bullion, Stack Collector, myself really enjoy seeing, is helping new people get into investing. Nickel Stacking said, Gary, my first name is Gary also, but don't tell anyone. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. 365 said, great to hear, Gary. Candy Floss King said, 365. Comments have just refreshed. God. 365 pulled all of mine from Coinbase and got it into Trezor. Also sold all of my Coinbase stocks as well, luckily in the green. Very nice that you could pull it out in the green. John says, sorry, Future Investments and Stack Collector. I'm signing off as I'm just pulling into Brighton Marina and need to keep my eye on what I'm doing. Good luck to you all. See you soon. Lovely, John. Enjoy your time on your boat or your yacht. It's a bloody lovely thing. And thanks for joining the live stream. Just going through the comments, replying to some of the channel members. Creative Precious Metals said Amazon and blue chip stocks. Silas Soundman said rhodium is good for plating, gold for stability. Anything can happen with rhodium. There's good comments going on in the live chat today. I know we touched on in our little group chat the other day, Stack Collector, about some good investing films. I've seen one of the guys put the one with Brad Pitt.
It was me, wasn't it? I watched The Big Short on Netflix.
Big Short, that's it. What did you think? I absolutely love that film.
No, it was an absolutely brilliant film. And as I say, yeah, I was the one that recommended it to everyone because I watched it on Netflix. Well, this is amazing because it follows it. It's a true life story. It's generally what happened in the 2007 bubble, housing bubble. Michael Berry? Michael Bay? I think it's Michael Berry, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's a real person. And yeah, no, I thought it was an amazing film. But I just want to touch on something very quickly. Cy the Soundman said, side hustles are the best source of second income. If you are not in property, use your skills and create something that people need. I just want to say how that's absolutely amazing advice. You did a video recently, didn't you, about how to invest your first £1,000?
Yes.
Now, I just want to go further on what Cyber Soundman said there, because I'm a little bit, not that anything you said in your video was absolutely wrong, but where I differ a little bit is for your first £1,000, if possible, I recommend doing exactly what Cyber Soundman has said, like looking to setting up your own little side hustle business. I did that, and now I have my own tree surgery business, and it's my full-time business. And that started off as a side hustle in, doing it weekends and that kind of thing, doing a bit of landscaping, doing a bit of gardening work for people. And I started that with just a very few tools, invested a bit of money into that. And when you're out there earning money for yourself, it can be a lot quicker to see that return than it can when you're investing. So if not, it doesn't apply to everybody. I know it doesn't, but if you are able to start a side hustle, I think to invest £1,000, that's a great way to invest £1,000. Especially if it's something that can create a form of passive income.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you on that, and you see so many tradesmen who have their own business. Be it a carpenter, somebody who does carpets, a tree surgeon, etc. they all seem to do very well. I can't talk about on experience. I have private work and I do quite a bit here and there when I want the work, but I don't run it as a full-time business. I don't need to rely on it. Do you find the cash reward of owning your own business to be great enough that it is worth sometimes the stress of having your own business? Because just to elaborate, I know for businesses like being a self-employed business like you are with carpentry, with tree surgery and landscaping, you know, customers not paying, you get funny customers who complain about jobs, even though jobs are perfect. Customers not paying. How do you take payment? Do you find that the money you can earn having your own business is so much greater than being employed? It is worth the sometimes worry of, will this customer fob me over? Will this customer pay? Or going out and quoting jobs? How does that sort of balance out for you?
Yeah, for me, it balances out well. As I say, it started off as a bit of a more of a part-time thing, and it's gone into a full-time job. You're not wrong in what you're saying. I've got stories of every single one of them of people not paying. I've got customers now.
Sorry, mate. Can I just say sorry to interrupt. Candy Floss King is leaving, so I just want to say goodbye to the Candy Floss King. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching the live stream. But yeah, sorry to interrupt there, mate. I'll let you crack on. Sorry about that.
No, that's absolutely fine, because I know Candy Floss King had a very difficult decision to make tonight, because he was either watch us or play. Was it is it Grounded or something? He was going to be having a good evening either way. I can remember he put a reply on the comments earlier.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I missed that.
so I'm just saying I'm glad to hear you chose us, guy, Candy Floss King. You enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, which everyone is wherever you are.
Absolutely. But yeah, sorry to interrupt. Just going back onto my question for you. Do you find the money you can earn having your own business worth the stress that sometimes comes with that?
Yeah. As I was saying just before Candy Floss King left it, I've got customers right now that haven't paid. They're not responding to text messages. It's not a huge amount of value on those jobs, so I'm not too bothered about chasing them particularly. They'll probably want more work doing, and they'll pay before they want that. The only thing I can really say is with myself, I'm on the boards. I'm insured. I'm qualified. It's cost me a lot of money to go out there and get myself qualified as a tree surgeon, to pay my public liability insurances, to pay tax on what I earn, pay my business rates, all that kind of thing. It cost me a lot of money. So if you aren't going to pay me, I will take you to court.
Right.
I have got no issue. I declare what I earn. I will pursue it legally if I have to. Luckily, nothing like that's ever come across. Now, I like to take a deposit on large jobs. If I'm doing a large landscaping job with, say, it's got a lot of slabbing involved. What I'll do is I'll always take the money for the materials before the job's done. So at the very least, I'm only out on manpower and time. So I have the quotation. I used to work in buildings insurance. I used to supervise a lot of contractors and building repairs. So what I do now is I produce a little report pack, and it's similar to what our contractors used to do for us when I was in the insurance trade. But basically, I report the job, exactly what I've discussed with the customer, what I plan to do, what materials will be needed, and what time frames will be for the job. That breaks everything down. I get the customer to sign the quotation. Once I've got the signed quotation, I take money to cover the materials up front, and then cash for the labour afterwards. One thing I will say to people is never pay anybody for the labour before the job has been done ever. If it is a small contractor and you're asking for money for materials, that's completely understandable. just make sure you get something like a receipt or an invoice for the money you give them for the materials to cover your own backs too. But yeah, it's not been bad for me. As I say, purely because I keep myself above the board for that reason. I can't, I wouldn't be able to risk not being able to chase when people, don't pay for a lot. Because some of the jobs do, I do make a lot of money off. A fun fact for you is tree surgeon is technically the most dangerous job on the planet. The logging industry has the highest mortality rate of any other industry, and I can promise you now, when you're up inside the tree at height using the chainsaw, it's a lot more dangerous than when you're on the ground. So I do earn a lot of money for what may not be a lot of work, but there's a lot of risk involved in what I do. I could slip in the tree with a chainsaw. What I think could be a very, very stable branch could have some, included bark or something like that, where it just splits and goes, and that's game over for me. So I enjoyed climbing, as you know. I do enjoy that aspect of it. You do get paid quite highly for the amount of time you have to put in for the work. So for me, 100%, it definitely makes it worthwhile. The amount of money I make, even in contrast to people who are tree surgeons working for other companies, what they'll make in a day is absolutely nothing like what I can make in a day. I've just seen Lee's popped up. Yes, TNC and myself as hard as nail. Lee does a similar job to myself. He's another chainsaw guy. But
Oh,
yeah,
right.
no, just to briefly summarize what I was saying. Yeah, for me it's work, but there is a risk. There is always a risk, and I recommend keeping above board so that when when time comes, you can use it to your advantage, and you can follow the proper channels if anyone does end up owing you money.
Yeah. No, very, very nice in-depth answer there. I'm employed and I have what you might consider a good job. Um, but I know I could go out there and have my own business doing what my trade skill is, and that would 100% give me a lot more money than I earn at my employment. Um, but comes with that is possible the stress, and obviously you deal with it quite well by the sounds of things. But someone not paying me would really wind me up. I've had it with private work customers where they tried not to pay me just because they didn't feel like it, even though they were chuffed to bits with the job, and it really would wind me up. So that's kind of held me back. But I just want to say welcome on another note to Claire Shaw. Um, Welcome to the live stream. She said, "Love these lives. We always come away learning something new." Oh, that's lovely. I know you enjoy the channels with your partner, and I love your emails that you send me. Claire actually sent me an email the other day notifying me that Backyard Bullion had some of those Chinese dragon coin bars that you've actually got on show in the bottom right of your screen, and she knew that I wanted some, and because I've had a lot of outgoings this month, I've had to pay car insurance and car tax for my 370Z Nismo, and I've also put money into my premium bonds and bought silver. I was a bit tight, and as much as I wanted to get 2 or 3 of those bars, I didn't, and I missed out. But sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But very nice that you email me and let me know about that. Sam233737 said, "Do you think gold will keep going up?" Good question. I'll pass it over to the stat collector to start the ball rolling on that one.
Yeah, I think I said earlier when we were talking about the monthly price, over time, yes, 100%. I think it's low right now, so I think we could see a little bit of an increase going forwards. You're going to see peaks and troughs. You're always going to see peaks and troughs with a general upwards, incline.
Trend.
So yeah, you'll see ups and downs, but over time, the price of gold will increase, definitely for sure.
Yeah, I second that. It's a no-brainer for me, Sam. I have absolute faith in gold prices only perpetually getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. UBCAFC said, "How many rubber banks do you keep in your capsules? I'm having a nightmare." Oh, I know what you mean. For those coin capsule cases, they're lovely. The capsules look amazing once the coin is in amongst the felt. But the particular ones I have, the felt inner rings are not particularly very brilliant size for 1 ounce coins, at least for Britannias. You have to like stretch them a little bit. So I think I take the top two rings off on the outer, and then I use what you would call the third and the fourth inner rings, and I have to stretch them a little bit and wrap them around the Britannias. I don't like doing that because it means I have to handle the new Britannia coins quite a bit with my hands, and we already know that silver's very prone to milk spotting and going cloudy. So I try and do it as quick as possible and get it in the capsule. But at the end of the day, they're going to milk spot and go cloudy anyway. So silver's, if you're buying just pretty much generic Britannias, it shouldn't affect the value too much because it's only ever going to be worth its weight's value anyway. And if you're stacking silver for like 20 years, then you've got to expect your 20-year-old silver bullion pieces to tarnish a bit. But it says a lot of comments saying about tree surgeons. I know Silas Soundman, another channel member, has said tree surgeons are the Tarzans of the 2020s respect, but you couldn't wrestle a crocodile though. They might be able to with their chainsaw.
That's funny enough. He said that. Only last night when I was fishing with Thunderstorm, I turned around to my friend I was with, and I said to him, "I'd elbow drop a crocodile for you." And I'd like to let you know, Future Investments, and also this goes out to 365 Days of Silver and everyone else in the community. I would elbow drop a crocodile for you.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Do you get the reference here?
I have no clue about that.
It's an amazing YouTube video. You got to just search YouTube video. Guy elbow drops crocodile after the video, and what it is, you got these two friends and they're swimming in the water, and you can see that they start frantically swimming towards the bank, and one of them, it's a really steep bank, and one of them's up on the bank, and he's telling his friend to hurry up, and you see his friend swimming frantically, and you see on the camera just behind him that a crocodile's chasing him, and just before it gets his mate, this guy jumps off the top of this bank and literally elbow drops the crocodile, and we both get away.
No way.
Yeah, it's amazing. You've got to have a look afterwards. It is so funny.
Wow, I'll be checking that out. What a friend though. That's the best friend for life, isn't it? He jumped in the water with a crocodile to save his mate.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I just wanted, and also Salmon again. I was terrified. The lightning was so close. I was the only one who was scared. Everyone else was absolutely fine, and I was absolutely terrified. I kept saying we're all going to die, but it was scary. It absolutely chucked it down yesterday. We had lightning literally 30 to 40 feet away from us because the storm passed over us. You could see it quite in the distance. And then it was really there, and then a little bit after it'd gone behind us. So it was that period of time. It was literally right over us, and it's probably one of the most scared I've ever been in my life.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty mental. Yeah, fair play to you though. But being a tree surgeon, you're probably the person that's most adept for dealing with that situation. I'll be cracking myself.
No,
I can't even climb up a tree, let alone with a chainsaw. So yeah, fair play.
yeah, it's you definitely stay fit doing my job. I'm probably I'd like to say I'm the fittest I've ever been, even when I was a bit younger. So yeah, it definitely does keep you fit.
Nice. I like that Cider Soundman said a carbon rod in lightning. That's almost as dangerous as 365 getting pished. Pished and playing. Oh, I know what he means. Yeah, drinking his whiskey and playing with electricity. Yeah, we know 365 likes a whiskey on the rocks. I think that's the saying. I was actually out on the town last night, so I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little bit sorry for myself today. I thought I was going to be very, very hungover this morning to the point where I would actually be, sick, but I managed to weather the storm, so to speak. Um,
That's good. That's good to hear. I was just fishing late last night, so I'm really tired. But no, luckily I don't drink myself anymore, as you know. But so I at least escape the hangovers these days. That's the one good thing about that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't miss the hangovers. I know Claire said, have you got the name for your dragon yet, Future? Everyone will, if you're not sure, she's referring to my lovely little dragon here. Yes, I did choose on one of the names from a couple of the videos, but I'm going to be totally honest, I cannot remember it off the top of my head because I haven't sort of logged it mentally in my brain yet. But what I'll do is I will find it, and in the next sort of pre-recorded uploads, I'll be shouting out the dragon with the YouTuber that gave the name and the name that I chose. So yeah, I've definitely seen one that I like. I just can't remember the exact name that it was. But when I see it, when I go back to it, I'll remember. 365 Days of Silver said 20 people in the live stream. Yeah, unbelievable. And we've had a £20 donation from William, and 365 Days of Silver gifted 5 channel memberships, which is worth £25 or so. So yeah, it's like a £45 donation from super chats and everything. So been an unbelievable live stream. I think we'll go for another 15 minutes and call it a day at 8 p.m. because that will be a 2-hour live stream. And just going to the comments side, the soundman said, if you see a tree surgeon with apparently spiky hair, you found the the stat collector. He also said, the stat collector, a question. This is a good question. What's your worst injury? Well, he's only got 8 fingers, so that's probably one of them.
Yeah, yeah. My worst injury, working wise, nothing bad. Little nicks to the finger, and I'd say probably you're not going to see it well, but there's a scar. You can just about make it out. There's a scar just there on my finger. Now, one year I had a really good go at cutting this thumb off because you've got. Oh no, it's not. It's this one. Sorry, it's this one here. You got that was a knife. That was an axe. That was
Right.
another knife. And this all happened in one summer. I was, I was camping. This was before I stopped drinking, and I was camping, and I was actually chopping some firewood up. I'd not had that much to drink, but my axe bounced off a piece of wood and went down into my thumb, and that was one right there. That one, I was at a festival I was working security at a festival a few years ago, and it was only a one-off job I did as a mate for a mate. But we had I was undoing something for the camp, and basically it was a hose that had a little plastic zip tie wrapped around it. And I was trying to cut the zip tie, and I was holding it, and it kind of just jabbed straight into my hand there. So as you can see, that thumb's had a bit of a hammering. The worst injury I've ever had is I've broken a rib. I broke a rib probably a couple of years ago now. That still gives me a bit of jip. I fell off a friend's roof when I was 16, and injured my ankle very heavily, so it can get a bit when it's cold. It gets a bit difficult to walk. But I think they're probably my worst injuries. I've definitely not ever had anything bad with the chainsaw. That scares me so much that I'm very careful with it. How about you, anyway, Future? What's I know you probably don't do as dangerous job as I do, but what's the worst injury you've ever had?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I've got no real injuries really. I mean, what I've been very lucky. I've never broke a bone in my life. I have got a few scars. I've got a scar on my arm that is actually quite deep, and that was from Tommy. He had a bit of a biting and attack mode phase when he was younger, and he full on was attacking me at points, and he properly cut my arm open. So I've got a 3 centimeter scar on where you like my right bicep is. So and a few on my hands from where I fell off on my BMX when I was a kid, and I took my fingers down to the bone. But other than that, touch wood, I've been very lucky. But being the fact that my job isn't, the worst thing from my job is inhaling lacquer and base coat. So yeah, probably my insides aren't that great from years of painting. But yeah.
Yeah.
Creative Precious Metal said, do the interest rates rise, does the interest rate rise worry you if they don't come down in the next few years? For me, yes, because my property is coming up for its mortgage renewal in January, February next year, and right now it's at 6%, so no one wants to be paying more. I'm not worried that I won't be able to afford it by any means, but if you're paying another £200-300 more a month on your mortgage, that's £200 or £300 less you can invest in a month. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, interest rates always worry me. It's always something to be concerned about, at least. I mean, we have, which I mean, obviously, I think we're still paying off 2020, aren't we? I, I think things. I have faith that things will stabilize a little bit in the next few years. I know a lot of people are worrying with the current climates and things that think might escalate and what I'm talking about, Russia and Ukraine and
Yeah,
is it going to go nuclear? Is cluster bombs now being involved? That kind of thing.
yeah,
I still think, I still think that you'd have to be absolutely, literally insane to instigate nuclear war, and I
yeah,
don't think it's going to get to that. I do still hope that this is going to, in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see things hopefully become a lot more stable, and we'll hope see things moving on for the better. But yeah, at the moment, interest rates they do worry me very much at the moment because things are just very unstable and it's very hard to it's hard to predict what's going to happen at the best of times, but it becomes downright impossible when things are so unpredictable.
yeah. Very well said, mate. I agree with you completely. I'm really interested in the war in Ukraine because it's war for the first time, really serious wars in Central Europe since World War Two, and it's
Mm,
crazy. There's a YouTube channel I like to watch called Civdiv, and it's about CIVDIV. And he's
yeah.
a Ukraine volunteer. He's American, but he volunteers and helps train and fight in Ukraine. And he gets GoPro footage, and he's got 700,000 subscribers from basically uploading this content, and it shows the reality of war, and it's just surreal. It blows my mind. So I find myself watching that a lot, but definitely that's had an effect on the inflation for sure. Looking at the comments, 365 Days of Silver said my mortgage just went up £300 a month. Had to renew it last month. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's what I'm worrying about. I don't want to be paying £300 more a month, but if the interest rates don't settle down by January, February next year, I'll be in the exact same position as you, as well as thousands of other people that have had to do that. So I'll be locking in for a minimum term as possible, probably just 2 years. Um, yeah, crazy. Interest rates really are crazy. I mean, I know you've recently bought your house as that collector. You may have just got away with locking in at an okay interest rate. Um, I don't know, but yeah. Did you do a long term? Did you lock in for a long term, or have you locked in for 2 years?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I've been in the whole place for 12 and a half years saving up. So I'm going to be honest, I don't have a huge mortgage. So yeah, it's not something I'm particularly worried about myself. I my old flat was I joked about it being a shoebox and it was horrible and it really got me down at times. But it was so cheap. It was £300 a month rent, so I was able to, spend well over 10 years putting money away, because I wanted to do it that way. I wanted to like buy a house, not start a long process. So as I say, I've been saving up for a long time, and look, I've been very fortunate in the fact that I don't have much of a mortgage to pay going forward. So yeah, but it is definitely, it's definitely a tricky time, and you hear people saying about the property is in another bubble, and it's quite apt that we referenced the Big Short before, because I know Michael Berry was. I saw, so I think this was a few months ago actually. I saw that he was predicting another property crash. But it's like property is no different than any asset, and it's like you say yourself, timing the market beats timing the market. You know, there may be difficult times, but I definitely do think it's, you know, it's great to get in there. I do want to. This is something I've mentioned before, but I also want to just remind people that, you know, you don't have to buy a house or get a mortgage to invest in property. You know, there's things called REITs, which is REIT, which is a real estate investment trust. And that's where you can just invest whatever amount of money you can afford into property that's owned by conglomerates, and you're just owning a percentage of that property. So depending on whether the housing market goes up or down, you'll make loss or profit on your property. So, you know, I do think property is always going to be a good area to invest in. I do know it's a very volatile time right now. But you know, again, it's a sound investment, and I think one that, you know, even if you, as I say, even if you can't afford to buy a property yourself, it's one that everyone should look to invest into in one way or another.
Yeah, very well said there, mate. I mean, congratulations on saving for 12 years. What a smart move. And, you know, clearly it's paid off because, like you said, you don't have to worry about the interest rates because you've got a very low mortgage. So, I mean, very happy for you and very well thought and done there. And as 365 said, short term sacrifice for long term security now. And I completely agree. I love the saying of five, uh, 5 years of pain for 20 years of pleasure, or uh, 5 years of pleasure for 20 years of pain. So I know I certainly have the first one, and that's obviously what you've done, 5 years of pain for 20 years of pleasure. So very well played in that terms. But yeah, hopefully property will, you know, I think it's a good idea to own property. I think you live in it, so I don't really worry about the price of it dropping and going up and dropping down because it's a home that you live in. It's the sort of asset, or some people call it a liability, that I never look at the price of because it's not something I really include as part of my investment portfolio when it's the property I live in. But yeah, overall, I've really enjoyed today's chat. I think I'm going to bring it to an end now because we've been on nearly 2 hours. I had 18 people watching up to now. Unbelievable. Um, John's comment just said, well said to Stack Collector. I have a Russian family, so I'm staying out of the Ukraine Russia war discussion. That's absolutely fair enough. Mary said, right now in the US, it's best to rent and save and buy when prices come down. Yeah, fair comment. But I just want to say thank you to everyone tonight for doing amazing comments in the live chat. It's been non-stop. Sorry from us both if we haven't replied to all of your comments. It's just impossible to keep up with them all without having a conversation ourselves. But I've been reading every single one and enjoying all of your discussions between everyone. Thank you for liking the video. Unbelievable that we got 22 likes and 20 people still watching the live stream after 2 hours nearly. So absolutely amazing. And a huge shout out to the channel members and William and 365 for donating channel memberships and massive super chats. It means an awful lot. So yeah, I really appreciate your time as well, the Stack Collector. I love doing these Sunday episodes with you. I always enjoy seeing your stack and hearing about your investments and your portfolio and your knowledge, especially on numismatic stuff. So yeah, been great fun today. And yeah, I mean, I'll pass it over to you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next Sunday live with the Stack Connector.
No, thank you, Future. I just want to say, I want to bring it in and make it a bit serious for a moment, because I want to say to everybody who's watched today, you know, I've had a bit of a difficult week this week. I've had a lot of things going on in my life, and I've been quite down. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's come across today. You've really helped cheer me up. I'm in a much better mood now. I'm looking forward to making more content going forwards. So thank you so much again. I don't think you all realise just how much of an impact you guys have when you come over and join us in the live chat on these videos, which are, you know, definitely my favorite part about YouTube, getting together with another creator that's who's one of my favorite creators on YouTube anyway, and the absolutely amazing silver and gold stacking or investing community. It's just so much fun. So on a serious note, thank you so much. On a light note, don't forget Star Wars tomorrow, 9 a.m. at the Royal Mint website. They go on sale 9 a.m. on the dot. I will be there waiting to order my coins. Hopefully something I'm going to be able to unbox for you all soon. But other than that, again, you know, I've had a great time today. It's been amazing to chat with yourself, Future, and everyone in the comments. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. And so from me, until next time, as always, keep stacking. Take care, and goodbye.
Thanks, guys. See you all next time. Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye, mate.